Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna tackle my first ever crypt puzzle. I would say I'm worried about it, but I'm honestly not because I'm not doing the pink one, I'm doing the gradient one. So let me just show it to you. It's a 631 piece puzzle by Ravensburger and the title of this one is Crypt Gradient. So this is the puzzle I'm gonna be doing today because I just couldn't resist doing a gradient puzzle. Like the first gradient puzzle I did has some sort of like a pattern over it, and people said that it's not actually the same as doing a plain gradient puzzle. Unfortunately, this was the only plain gradient I could find on Amazon. The only other was like 2,000 pieces and I didn't really want that one. But I've noticed that this puzzle has a different pattern to the Pink Krypt puzzle, because the Pink Krypt basically has the circle in the middle and it just has like the square around. So it's not completely the same, but I'm gonna try to see if the piece shape, like if it's obvious, because my tactic for the Pink Krypt puzzle, because obviously I cannot help myself with the picture, is basically to divide the puzzle into two sections, so all of the round pieces and all of the square pieces, which basically splits the puzzle, and that should make it, you know, easier to assemble. But we'll see how that goes. Anyway, for today I'm gonna be tackling this one, and I don't know if that's like a true comparison for the plain gradient puzzle because the pieces are completely different, but at least the colors are gradient, so that should do for now. It's definitely gonna be better than the first one I did. I think it's time to do the sorting now, because with gradient puzzles I think that's like the most important step. I do sorting with everything anyway, so yeah, let's do that now. The sorting was quite interesting because there are so many different types of pieces there. I'm so confused. Like with some pieces it's really obvious that they're the edge pieces, but then with other pieces it's like I have no idea if that's an edge piece or if it's an inside piece, because it's got a really like small line which is completely straight. So yeah, it was quite confusing in that sense, and also the shapes are so different. Like there are some pieces that are completely normal size and shape, and then you've got some pieces that are basically like three pieces together and all different shapes and everything random. So in that sense it's quite interesting, and I think it's gonna be good for the Pink Krypt puzzle because it's gonna give me a sense of what sort of pieces to expect, I guess. And I actually found a damaged piece as well, which I don't know how it happened because it's a brand new puzzle, but I've heard it happens to some people before, never to me, so I guess there's a first for everything. So today I got my first broken piece in a brand new puzzle. Yay me! Also, something that's really specific for Ravensburger is basically a lot of puzzle dust, which kinda annoys me a little bit with new puzzles, because there's like, after sorting my hands were completely blue, and also I had to get rid of it because otherwise it's just, I don't know, it annoys me when putting the puzzle together. So I think this is definitely something they could improve on. And there's also something else that was in the box, and I got this envelope and it says puzzle guide. So I assume it's basically the same guide that's in the back of the box, just in larger size, I guess. So I'm gonna open this now. I'm really bad at opening envelopes. So yeah, it's basically the same as in the back of the box. I'm not sure why this had to be sealed because we already, you know, see it on the box anyway. It's just slightly larger. So I kind of wish that, you know, if they make a separate guide, that it would be bigger. Because everything I can see on this paper I can already see here, so it's not like it makes it any easier, I don't think. Oh no, it's actually different. Wait. Okay, it makes sense. This one doesn't match what's on the box. Okay, after looking at it, I can see that they don't really match. Like, majority of the pieces match, but there's one specific one that stands out. Maybe there's just like one that they use for all crypt puzzles to just put it on the box, and this is like the actual guide to this particular puzzle. Or maybe it's just a mistake. we're gonna have to find out, I guess. So I think I'm gonna try to do the frame first. Obviously, no idea if that's gonna be successful because I'm not sure if I've got all the pieces. But if that doesn't work, I'm just gonna, you know, start assembling as I go. So wish me luck. I started with the frame, which I normally do, you know, but this was horrible. Like, honestly, there was points where the frame wasn't even like fitting together. Well, it did fit together, it just didn't hold together because the pieces weren't designed to actually click into each other. So after doing like half of the frame, I just decided I'm gonna drop it and just started to move on with the assembly, because even when I managed to put it together, I started moving the puzzle around and it would just separate, so it was a complete waste of time. The assembly itself, I don't think it was that difficult. It's very different to normal puzzles that I'm used to because of the different shaped pieces, but it was actually really nice, and I love the matte finish on the puzzle. And I've noticed there's actually no red in this puzzle. I don't know how I didn't notice that when doing the sorting, but there's basically no red, and red is the color that normally like confuses me because I don't see that much color difference. But because the red is not there to be the worst color, I noticed that the blue and the green are the most difficult in this puzzle to separate the shades. I guess there just has to be one color that is the worst, you know, in every puzzle. I've been working on this puzzle for just over an hour now, without including the sorting, and I've just got green left, which is quite bad. There's not that much difference in the colour, but I think the shapes of the pieces help when putting the puzzle together. I know I can't really do like shape sorting and stuff, but because there are so specific shapes, you kind of get used to like the way the puzzle is designed. So for instance, the square that goes around has smaller pieces and more of like a standard shaped pieces, if you know what I mean. So it's a bit easier to know which pieces fit into that section. Then you've got like really huge pieces as well, and they're normally like on the side of the puzzle. So yeah, you kind of learn as you go, I guess, and that definitely helps because the color now is not really helping because I've just got one left. The puzzle is complete, and this last section took me a bit longer than I expected, so I spent 25 minutes on it, and now in total, including the sorting, I spent 1 hour 45 for this puzzle. I don't think that's bad because it's a bit larger than 500 piece puzzle, but because it's gradient, I kinda just assumed that it's gonna be quicker than 500 piece puzzle. I don't know why I was thinking that, but anyway, it was a still very enjoyable puzzle. One thing I noticed with this puzzle is like when it's completely finished, is some pieces are like sticking out a bit more than others even after I press them in completely, so it's a bit like uneven surface. So I decided I'm gonna do a pickup challenge with this puzzle, which I haven't done with a lot of puzzles lately, but Ravensburger normally holds together really well, but this puzzle is a bit different, so I want to try it. And it did pass the pickup challenge, which is great because this just proves like the extra quality of the puzzle. There is one thing to point out that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, so there's a difference between the guide on the box and the guide on the poster inside of the box. You can see that like there is one line missing, so there are two separate pieces, but on the guide it looks like there's just one piece. So there is obviously a mistake in the guide, but I don't really care about that because it's a gradient puzzle and I haven't even looked at the guide. But if this was like a Pink Krypt puzzle and it had a mistake, then yeah, that could have been a problem. Because I've seen people do Krypt puzzle, like a solid color Krypt puzzles, and it takes them over like 10 hours. So yeah, you don't want mistakes on that one. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see my first ever experience with gradient puzzle, just watch this video next. Bye!